national team training camp. We have Coach Popovich with us. We'll go right to questions. Sam Smith, go ahead, and then we will go with Samuel Rodriguez.
I thought I kind of saw the hurt in your eyes yesterday when I apparently realized there wasn't much media in the room. So I wanted to follow up and ask a question. If that
this must be Sam.
Yes. We often hear about, especially at the games, in a lot of society, that people say, thank you for your service. People, in the military and other places in society. And I know nobody feels sorry for NBA players, because of salaries and things like that. But this is a particularly unusual Olympics, because of, what the players, coming off a short season, wearing masks, short, as Jerry Colangelo said, short traveling party, testing every day. And does it say anything about the NBA players who are participating in this? How, guys like Kevin Durant, who had injuries, the guys from the finals teams who are going to go right from the finals to join you. Jerry mentioned about Zach Levine, couldn't be more happy, excited about, getting the notice. What does it say about the players who wanting to participate in this?
Well, more than anything, for me, it boils down to what I told them. I think they're making a really big and important sacrifice, considering, what you mentioned, Sam, basically COVID, for like a year and a half, being in a bubble and then going through this season. Society-wise, social issues that are going on exacerbates, already the feelings you might have during COVID, just being isolated so much, and the quick turnaround to go back over, and especially, the three guys that are going to come right after the finals. I think it's a testament to their character, their desire to show the world that they can be the best basketball team. They love playing, but to me, I call it a sacrifice. They're sacrificing a lot. They can't take their friends or family to Tokyo. I don't know what fans are going to be there. I don't know the way it is, even what Japanese fans are going to be there from everything that we hear. So it's a huge sacrifice, and I think they deserve a lot of credit for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Samuel Rodriguez, you're up then. Tim Reynolds, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. This is Samuel Rodriguez from New Stitch Media. Can you talk a little bit about the role Bam is going to have to play on this team, being one of the only true centers on it?
Well, he's a center. That's his role. You already figured that out. He does what he does. He's active. He's a rebounder. He runs. He knows how to play with teammates. He handled the ball in Miami a lot. On wings, on elbows, on top, GHOs, splits, pick and rolls. He's going to be very valuable to us, and obviously our best rebounder.
Thank you. Next up, Tim Reynolds. Then we'll go to Sean Higgins.
Thanks, Craig. Hey, Pop.
Hi.
To follow up a little bit on Sam's first question, you mentioned yesterday, too, about the sacrifice players are making, and, of course, you just referenced it again now, and how you appreciate that it's important to them. What made you decide to make this sacrifice, and why was it important to you as well?
Well, I've always been excited about the Olympics. Just like anybody else, as a kid, you watched whatever you were interested in. And way back in 1972, I was able to try out for the Olympic team, and I didn't make it. I've told this story many times, so I apologize, but the powers that be actually selected Doug Collins instead of me. It's hard to believe, isn't it? It's a joke. But ever since then, being part of the Olympics has been a dream. So any opportunity to be part of something so special, just being around the other coaches I'm with, these players, you kind of look in the mirror and you say, what am I doing here? So that's a hell of a privilege and, great fun. A lot of work, obviously, but you just feel amazed that you can be in that kind of company. So you do it for that reason. And if you can represent your country against the rest of the world to preserve, our game and be the best, that challenge is enervating and something that I look forward to.
Thank you, Pop.
Sean, go ahead, and then we'll go to Rafael Haynes.
Hey, so Pop, today the Japanese government declared another state of emergency because due to COVID. So I'm just wondering, what kind of conversations are you having with the USA basketball higher ups and even maybe some of the Olympic higher ups about contingencies and how prepared are you guys if the situation gets to a point where you guys' plans are going to have to change?
Right. Well, I can tell you, Jerry Colangelo and Sean Ford, General Dempsey, they're all over that. They're having their discussions every day. I'm sure that they interface with the appropriate officials constantly. I'm not in that mix. I'm worried about what goes on the court, and I have full confidence that we move forward in whatever direction they tell us to. So it's really out of mind, to be honest with you. There are people that are working on that on a daily, minute-to-minute, basis. So I'll follow their lead.
Rafael, you're up, and then we'll go to Jeff McDonald.
Hey, Pop, hope all is well. This is Rafael Haynes with the three-point conversion. Pop, kind of a two-part question. You, with so many alphas coming in on this team, and when it comes to leadership, do you let the players figure that out themselves? And then also when it comes to captains, if there are captains, I believe so, but there are captains, how do you work that out? Do you let the players come up with that, or is it by seniority, or how does that work out, if you don't mind sharing?
No, that's, I've actually, obviously I've thought about that. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, to be honest with you. I wanted to come in, run the scrimmages, run the drills, do what we need to do, break bread with these guys, and to some degree see where it lands, instead of, being pedantic and coming in and saying this is the way it is. Get the feel for the group and how they interact, and who ends up, looking like a leader, and go from there and decide how to put that together. So that's the very beginning stages that we're in. Familiarity more than anything for right now.
Jeff McDonald, you're up, and then we'll go with Ed Javelinsky.
Hey, Pop, Jeff McDonald back in San Antonio. How you doing?
Good to see you.
I just had a quick question about Elton Johnson and what you hope he gets out of this experience with the select team and working against you guys on Team USA.
Basically the same thing that Derek White got out of it last season, or last year. Number one, confidence, knowing that he's regarded in a way that he's been accepted to come and play against the Olympic team, and that would build anybody's confidence. Development, he's playing under Eric Spoelstra, who's obviously a fantastic young coach, and it's great for him to hear some things from a different voice. So I think he'll come out development-wise a better player. So for those two major reasons, thrilled that he's here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ed, you're up. We'll go with Casey.
Hi, Coach. Elmas Savlanskas from Basket News. In your group, you will be playing Czech Republic, which along the way to the Olympics beat Canada team with 8 NBA players. So what does it show about this Czech team? And how would you explain this shrinking gap between usual top teams and the other smaller nations?
Well, number one, the Czech team is an excellent team. We played them last year. They execute very, very well. They're aggressive. Coaches do a great job. They're very experienced. They know what they want to do. They've played together, quite a bit, obviously, like most of the foreign teams. But it shows you that, once again, every year that goes by, teams are better and better, and all these teams will have 1 or 2 more NBA players. So the talent level goes up every year. When you add that to the execution that they have because of playing together so long, there are many formidable opponents, and the Czech team is one of them.
And just a second question real quick. Luka Doncic put up a triple-double performance in the qualifying tournament final against Lithuania team and led Slovenia to the victory. So what does it say about the player when he can maintain such a high level of play in both NBA and FIBA basketball? And how dangerous can Slovenia can be? Thank you.
Sure. Well, he's a spectacular player, as we all know. He's one of the best players in the world. And I emphasize in the world. He, showed himself early on in Europe, and he was a fast study in the NBA for sure. He's fun to watch. His skills, his competitiveness, his size, his innate basketball IQ is so impressive. And, you put 4 hardworking people around him, and you've got a hell of a team. And that's what they have. They are also aggressive. They execute well. The coaching staff is very committed. Everybody wants to win, and nobody wants to win any more than Luka. So I'm sure he's very happy right now, and he'll continue to compete at a high level without any doubt.
Thank you. Casey, you're up, and then we'll go with Darren Haynes.
Coach, Damian Lillard, after taking a cycle off, signed on to go to the Olympics. How happy were you to have Damian in the fold? And since this is his first chance at international competition, how do you think his game translates to the international game?
Well, we'll find out when we get there. It's a different physicality. As you all know, some of the rules are different. But I was thrilled to have him on the team for all the obvious reasons. He's a fantastic scorer. He wants to win. He wants to compete. And he's wanted to do this for a couple of years and been very adamant and vocal about wanting to play on this team, represent the country. So when you get a player that's that skilled, it's a good thing.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach.
Sure.
Hey, Pop. Darren Haynes from WSA in Washington, D.C. Good talking to you. I haven't seen you in a decade since I lived in San Antonio and worked out there. But what can you say about Bradley Beal? You always talk about guys maybe pounding the rock. That's one thing I learned from you. But there's a lot of great qualities from Bradley Beal. What's the one thing that you really like out of him?
His movement. He is hard to keep up with. Whether he's coming off of back picks or whether he's running a pick and roll or if he's coming off of a single double sort of situation, his balance and his movement, both are very impressive. He stops on a dime. He can pull up and shoot the shot. He can shoot the three. He can back cut and leave you in the dust. His movement really informs his shooting. If you think about the space that he creates because of his stop, start, inability to catch, go up, and knock down the shot. So that shooting ability, along with his excellent footwork, I think is the most impressive thing about him. And he's stronger than I expected. He's a strong young man. I used to think of him as kind of wiry and thin, but I was totally wrong. He's thick.
Thanks, Pop.
Last question, Dave McMenamin.
Hey, Pop, good to see you. I'm out here at the NBA Finals, and we're talking to Monty Williams every day, and it came to the realization that back in 95, 96, you were working with the Spurs, and you had a team that had 4 future head coaches on it in Doc Rivers, Vinny Del Negro, Avery Johnson, and Monty. And I wonder if you have any recollections of that team in particular, but also a young Monty Williams, what you saw out of him that he has told us that you guys have maintained contact throughout this playoff run.
He's he's a special man. He's obviously a fine basketball coach, but his ability to relate to players, to be genuine, to be honest, no tricks, no smoke screens, just straight up caring, loving man. And it shows, it comes out, and players react to it. So back when, he was obviously a young player trying to find his place, and you could tell then that he was a thinking person. You can talk to him about what was going on in games, even at his young age. He was somebody that just innately understood the game, and he had a poise about him, a demeanor that was impressive, just a heck of a teammate at the same time. So those are all traits that have served him well as he's entered the position he's in now.
Appreciate you, Pop.
Thank you all. We'll be back shortly with Bradley Beal.
Take care.
We have not talked to you since a lot of things have happened. So we want to get your reaction to Brad being promoted to president, Danny leaving, Ime being hired, and Kimba being traded, Al coming back. I'm sorry, it's a lot. So can you kind of expound on all that, what's happened, your reaction, and how this Olympic experience you think will help you develop your game, your international brand, et cetera?
Yeah, it was a lot at first with all the changes, especially with, the coaches in front office, but change is good sometimes, I'm excited about our new coach, Ime. Obviously, Kimba, that's my man. You hate to see one of your, close guys go. But, I wish nothing but the best for him. Wherever he goes, happy to have Al back. He looks better in green anyway. And yeah, I'm excited to be here. This is a great opportunity. I think playing in the Olympics is something I always dreamed about. So I'm looking forward to it, and just playing with a group of guys that you always compete against. I think that's what is the most fun part, just, being on the same team with these guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jayson. Next up will be Tom Petterini, and then we'll go to Brady Diaz.
Hi, Jayson. Pop yesterday said that everybody was pretty torn up when you got hurt in the World Cup because you were going to kind of be their go-to guy there. What can you say about that level of confidence from Pop and sort of the mutual respect there?
Yeah, that was tough because so much time is invested. From training camp, spending all this time together, long flights, going to different countries. So I was hurt. like emotionally when I hurt my ankle and wasn't able to play, because I wanted to be out there with those guys and, finish what we went there to go do. And it didn't happen. So I think that's one of the more reasons why I was so eager to come play this time around, because kind of had a sour taste in my mouth after the last experience.
Next up is Grady, then we'll go ahead with Jared Weiss.
Hey, Jayson, congratulations. Are there any players on your team that you're looking forward to learning from in this next month?
Yeah. Obviously, playing with my big brother, two guys from the same neighborhood, same high school, going to the Olympics from St. Louis. That's like a dream. That is amazing. Playing with all these guys like Dame, obviously KD, somebody just played against in the playoffs, end up playing on the same team. Caleb, Draymond. I go down the list of everybody. I've known Bam since I was middle school. So I'm excited.
Now, I've seen a lot of your Spotify, sort of commercials, but are there any specific music artists that you have in rotation right now on your journey to a gold medal?
Jay-Z, my favorite rapper. Obviously Nelly and Drake and Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, Meek Mill, Future, J. Cole.
Thank you.
Chip, you're up, and then we'll go with Adam Himmelsbach.
Hey, Jayson. Brad Stevens has talked a few times about how when he was conducting the coaching search, he wanted to check in with you and some of the other players to see what you wanted in your next coach, and how he kind of had to push you guys to give him honest feedback on what you thought could have been done better. So could you share some of the feedback you provided and what you're looking for to get out of your new coach?
I mean, all the guys that I guess were finalists, I liked all of them, and I had somewhat of a relationship with all of them, and I basically told them, like, you can't go wrong. So, that's their job, the front office, to make those decisions, and it's my job to go out there and play. So, that's basically kind of what it was.
Adam, you're up, and then we'll go with Paul Gant.
Hey, Jayson, obviously you got to know Ime a little bit at the World Cup. What stands out about him as a coach? What did you think of him being hired, and what do you think is going to work well with you guys as a partnership?
Yeah, I got to know him a little bit. I think what stands out the most is, I guess when you're coming up as an assistant, you get your first head coach job, that you're driven and motivated, and from the conversations that I've had with him since he's gotten the job, I can tell he's just really, really excited. So it's gonna be fun, and we're gonna try to accomplish something big.
Jayson, how are you, sir?
How you doing?
So outside of getting the gold medal, what do you hope to take away from this experience?
Went to the Olympics. Obviously, it's going to look a little different, but it's an event that I've watched all my life and dreamed about. So it's not something I take for granted, and just the relationship that you build with these guys. We're going to be together for six or some weeks, really just together. So just building those relationships.
Thank you. We'll go with Brian Robb and then Mark Murphy. Hello, Brian.
Share with that. Hey, Jayson. You've been very open about how you're feeling physically during the season. How are you feeling now, just after the break and with the lingering COVID stuff, and then just your whole body?
Feeling pretty good. been working out. Obviously, we had a couple days of practice. I feel refreshed. Had some good time off. So all in all, I feel pretty good.
Thank you. Mark, you're up, and we'll finish with John Corrales.
Hey, Jayson. How much have you and Bradley just sort of helped each other grow over the years?
A lot. I think that was the mentor and older brother that, I didn't technically have in the house. And someone that was just, accomplish everything that I was trying to do. And I've seen, how to do it firsthand and what it took from early morning workouts to pick me up every day in the summertime, one and done, Gatorade Player of the Year, top 3 pick. So it's just motivation, honestly, and someone that I've always looked up to and still look up to this day. So we just, want the extreme best for each other. And, just 2 guys that play at a very high level that are always, pushing each other. When he scores 50 or something, I'm trying to do it, and vice versa. That's just kind of relationship that we have.
Thanks.
Last question, Jayson, will be from John Corrales.
Hey, Jayson. Yesterday, Pop was talking about how much you've developed from the FIBA World Cup when you went a couple years ago, and saying how you're much more confident. You've added a lot to your game. You feel like you can dominate. What do you think your progression has been, and what specifically tied to that FIBA tournament compared to now, 2 years later, has helped you in that development?
I think just being around Pop. I think I was 20, 21 at the time. I still am, but relatively young. And just how he was coaching me, and what he expected of me, and the confidence that he had, and knowing that all those great players that he's been around. So after just leaving that camp and knowing that one of the best coaches ever, thinks highly of me. I kind of came into my 3rd season, just feeling really confident about that, regardless of my age, that, I was one of the best players. And I just had to go out there and prove it on a nightly basis.
I'm good. I was just curious. I know you really wanted to play, in years past with Team USA, and the timing just didn't work with your son coming along. I'm just wondering what it means to you to finally not just be able to do it, but have the timing work out, and what these first few days has been like now you've finally gotten to get there.
It's been a blessing, for one. Like you said, in years past, I've always been a part of USA basketball when I was 16, 17, 15, 16. And now to be, on the national team is, it's a dream come true. It's an elite group, prestigious group, and it's very, very hard to be selected. So I don't take that for granted at all. Obviously had to get the blessing from, wife and the boys, because they won't be allowed to travel with us. But ultimately, you don't pass up opportunities like this to represent your country, represent everybody from where you're from, your name, and ultimately USA basketball. So the first couple of days were great, just getting acclimated with the guys. It's always amazing because sometimes we're a little bit too unselfish, and that tends to happen when you have so many good players together. Sometimes we're making too many extra passes. Sometimes we're not as aggressive. So we're just kind of working through those things. But they've been great. Pop has a drive about him that, he's trying to prepare us for what's to come, and it won't be an easy road for us.
Thank you. We'll go next with Grady Diaz, and then we'll go to Sean Higgins.
Hey, Grady.
Okay, so your mom put the ball in your hands as a kid. She was your first trainer. She taught you how to hoop. How special is this moment for her? And what's it like getting to spend all this time with your childhood friend, Jayson Tatum?
Oh man, everybody's super excited. I'm trying to stay, mellow and calm about it. Obviously you're on the global stage. Everybody's paying attention. Everybody watches the Olympics. But on the flip side, everybody wants the U.S. to lose. So we have that chip on our shoulder. But to what your point, Grady, my mom is super ecstatic. I think she's probably more excited than I am. She has my 2 medals from when I was younger. So hopefully we get this gold. She'll probably steal this one from me too. But, I go out and try to compete on a nightly basis for her and my family. And I wouldn't be where I am today without her.
Brad.
Sean, you're up. We'll go
Brad, with you guys spending this much time together during this whole tournament, how much are you expecting there to be conversations among different guys trying to get guys to join certain teams, or like, hey, we should play together? Like, how much of those kinds of conversations do you think are going to be happening?
I don't know. I mean, probably a lot. I don't know. It depends on who's a free agent or not. But for the most part, we can't mix that in right now. We're focused on one goal at hand, and that's bringing back the gold medal. And, granted, we all have our respective individual, goals and talents. Once this is done, we can address those issues then. But, for the most part, we keep USA basketball, and, our main focus is getting the gold.
Thank you. We'll go with John Corrales and then Tim Reynolds. John, go ahead.
Hey, Brad. Obviously, the story of you and Jayson has been well documented, and now you've got an opportunity to not just play like you guys played together in the All-Star game, which was a fun exhibition. Now you're actually playing like real, meaningful basketball together. What do you think that's going to be like with you and him on the floor?
We're both excited. For one, we grew up 5 minutes from each other, and to have 2 of the same guys from the same high school on the same team I don't know if that's ever happened. For USA basketball. We're excited about it. Even from growing up, we've never been on the same team ever. In pickup, we're never on the same team. So this is definitely exciting for both of us. I'm happy about his growth. I'm excited to see him on the global stage just as well as myself and everybody. Man, we have a really good team. But Jayson and I have a special relationship, and I'm looking forward to it, man. It'll be exciting. The ultimate thing is getting the goal, whatever that means.
Thank you. We'll go to Tim Reynolds and then Joseph Vigalici. Hopefully I got your last name right.
Thanks, Craig. Hey, Brad. Tim Reynolds with the Associated Press. You've been playing with well, they're changing the ball for next year, but you've been playing with one type of ball for your entire NBA career. I know it changes in college depending on where you are and what league you're in and all that, but this is a different ball. What was your process as far as getting used to that again? And is it really that different, or are there some things that you had to kind of relearn or adjust?
It's a totally different ball for sure. We're all getting acclimated with it. It's very slick when it's new. You're talking about the USA ball, right, or the Wilson ball?
I'm talking about the international ball that
Right.
they're getting used to. I mean, obviously you have to relearn it in the NBA too now this fall, but this one first.
Yeah, for sure. So the FIBA ball is very slick. It has more lines on it than a regular ball does. More engraved lines on it too. So it's definitely different. You have to get used to it, and obviously break the balls in more. But once they're pretty much dribbled hundreds of times, it feels like a normal basketball with the right leather to where you can grip it and have better control of it. So it's just a matter of just getting used to it. Ball is a ball.
Thank you.
Joseph, go ahead.
Bradley, Joe Viglucci with WRHU on Long Island in New York. Kind of a 2-parter. What does it mean to you to be the first representative of the Washington Wizards on the Olympics in a really long time? And you mentioned a lot of things you were excited about. What are you most looking forward to making this trip to Tokyo?
For one, I'm definitely happy to represent DC in that way. That's definitely, I didn't know that. That's amazing to hear. And obviously we're all representing our respective teams and cities and everything of that nature. So I'm honored in that sense for sure. And I've been to Tokyo before actually in years past. So I'm excited to go back. I'm excited, you know, to embrace the culture again, eat the great food. I know we'll be very confined over there, but I'm just looking forward to the atmosphere. I know everybody roots against the U.S., so I'm excited about it, and just the camaraderie we'll build over there for this extended time. You know, I'm looking forward to it. So it'll be something I've never experienced before, and you know, it's a great opportunity for me to learn from these other great players too.
Thank you. We'll go with Chase Hughes next, and then following Chase, we'll use Chris Mulholland.
Hey, Brad. First of all, congratulations for this. What does it mean to you to be following in the footsteps of just so many legends who have played for Team USA, and also wearing the number 4? You know, Charles Barkley and Allen Iverson wore it. Just being part of this exclusive fraternity.
Oh man, it's you don't take it for granted. You know, you understand the history behind it. You understand the importance and how, like I keep saying, everybody wants to beat us. You know, and so it's always imperative that we have that mindset and that understanding, you know, in practice. You know, it starts here, you know, and then we carry it over into the games. And so I'm definitely I'm excited about it. You know, we have a really good team, a lot of guys we can learn from and just push each other to be better. So the sky's the limit for us. We got to control our own destiny, but it won't, like I keep saying, it won't be easy. You know, we gotta continue to put in the work, continue to trust Pop, and execute on that.
Chris, go ahead, and then we'll go with Ava Wallace.
Hey, Bradley, hope all is well. Obviously, with Kevin Durant having 2 gold medals, obviously he's going to be a big leader for you guys. So what are some of those qualities you would like to see out of him as a leader? And then what kind of what has he looked like so far with you guys at training camp in these first couple of days?
You know his famous quote, "I am Kevin Durant." There's nothing changing. Like we know who he is. We know what he's capable of doing, and he's doing the same thing in practice. You know, he's aggressive. You know, he's a 7-foot scorer, elite scorer at all 3 levels. And his leadership is just terrific. You know, I think I've seen he's like 39-0 in USA basketball, and that's crazy. So we definitely want to keep that going. You know, it speaks volumes for him to be, you know, 10+ years in the league and still wanting to come back and you know, and be a part of this prestigious fraternity. So you know, we definitely look up to him for, you know, to push us and lead us. But at the same time, he's very unselfish. You know, he's very encouraging. You know, he wants everybody to do well. You know, he said something very unique today. He's like, be special. You know, that's why we're here. And that stuck on with me. So hopefully we can all keep that mentality and understand that, you know, we're here for a reason.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go final 2 questions. We'll go to Ava and then David Gelato. Hopefully I got that right.
Hey, Brad, nice to see you. I feel like a lot of players, when they go on to their national teams, talk about sometimes having to pare back what they do for their club teams. Just obviously, since all of you guys are, you know, kind of the guys on your team and you do so much, have you had conversations with Pop or other guys, Kevin, like you just mentioned, about the role you want to focus on or the type of scoring you want to focus on, how you want to fit in with these guys?
Not necessarily. We kind of just free flow. Everybody's interchangeable. And everybody has free reign to be aggressive. It's not like we obviously have to understand it. You know, it's only one basketball, but at the same time, everybody's unselfish. I think I said this earlier, like sometimes we're too unselfish. And in the regard of, you know, we understand who's on the floor with us. You know, we don't have to work hard to get a shot off or, you know, do everything on our own. So, you know, it's definitely it's great in that sense. And we're just working that out. We're steadily working that out. But, you know, I think we'll figure it out eventually and hit it free flowing, you know, come July 25th. So that's all we can do. I think obviously we understand everybody's talented. Everybody in a way has to sacrifice. And for me personally, I want to defend. Like I want to be one of the best defenders on the team and go out there and do that. We have it. Everybody can score. Everybody can give us 30 and 40. Like, so I want to be the guy who goes out and guards and gets after it.
Thank you. Final question. Go ahead, David.
Hey, Brad, Davide here from Italy. I'm curious about what do you expect from the Olympic experience? I know this year is going to be probably different from the past, but how much do you expect from the Olympics and how much did you follow the Olympics in the past?
Well, I'm excited about opening ceremony. I'm always, you know, thrilled and, you know, definitely excited just to see all the countries come together and just, you know, the host country, just how well they put everything together. So I'm excited to see what Tokyo does. And just being there, I've never been to the Olympics before. So, it's definitely different than playing, under 15, 16, 17 basketball. And it's a global stage now, and these guys are very talented. These teams are very talented. We can't disrespect them. We have to approach every game, with, this team can whoop our butt at any moment, type attitude. So I think we got it.
Thank you, Bradley.
Yeah.
Give us